Alright, guys, so a lot of talk has been going on about the next villain for the Batman. And one of them is apparently, there's going to be multiple, just like the first one, and one of them that looks all but confirmed is Clayface. And I've heard some pushback here and there about does Clayface work in this universe? Does Clayface, even make sense? How do you make a realistic Clayface? And I've heard all of the arguments, and I'm here to tell you, I fucking want Clayface in this movie. I really want Clayface in this movie. Clayface, you see, let's talk about it. Clayface is a character that hasn't been seen in live action. Now, obviously, they're probably going to do... there's two ways they could do this. But really, when you're thinking Clayface, there's really only one way to go, is to make him a giant mud golem. That's the Clayface we know. Now, would it be Basil Karlo? I don't think they'll use Karlo. I think what they'll do is the same thing they did in the animated series, where it was supposed to be Karlo, and they used Karlo's backstory, but instead used Matt Hagen. So I think they'll do that like in the animated series, where it will be like Basil Karlo's backstory, but they'll use Matt Hagen instead. So, but that's just my theory. I'm not doing that. A gamer theory. Fuck. Now, the thing is like, people were really digging the realistic aspect of Batman. Well, the thing of it is that if you really look at it, the Batman film really goes in this way of, it could go, it's like the technology, like the eye technology and the form of Gotham and all of that, this really looks like it could go realistic route or superhuman route. Like, there are moments in here where it's like, yeah, this could easily fall into a world where it's it's becoming a stranger Gotham. It's not just crime lords anymore. There's monsters out. And I think that kind of I think that's a neat idea to go with it. Now, again, if you guys know your comics, then you know Basil Karlo didn't start as a big clay monster. He was basically a murderer. He was a killer who like wore a mask that would morph. Like, he would morph his mask to make it look interesting. And they could go that route of having him be like this serial killer who uses a mask to morph his face to look like other people, and that could, it could be like a cool, like, another mystery film. But the thing of it is, I kind of don't want that. I kind of want a film that is more like taking and everyone like, oh, I love realistic Batman. I'm tired of realistic Batman, guys. I'm over it. I love the Batman. It's probably now my favorite Batman film, but I am saying this as a fan of that film. I'm over realistic Batman films. I want a Batman film that embraces more of the comic book aspect, that really digs into, because Batman had his share of supernatural villains, and you can only do Joker so many times. So I think it's high time to really play with that, and Clayface, and it's rumored that Mr. Freeze is another villain. So I think this, like, if they're going that route, then maybe it's showing that Gotham is becoming stranger. It's becoming more like Batman is facing villains that he just can't outthink or outfight. That's now a world of gods and monsters now. And I think that's a cool idea. Now, Clayface, I think, could carry... I don't think you would need Victor Freeze in this movie, as much as I'd love to see another version of Freeze. Clayface, I think, could carry a film as a singular villain, and I know what you're already thinking. There's no way Clayface could carry a film by himself as the main villain. There's no way that Clayface could work in a film like this. There's no way. Like, there's no way to make that possible. He's always been like just a thug for Batman to fight. A lot of writers use that, but the thing of it is, Basil's smart. He's really smart, and he's actually, if you can do him right, he's scary. There was a whole thing of Mike Flanagan wanting to make a Clayface solo film before the DC reboot, which I'm kind of sad we didn't get that. Think about that. Mike Flanagan, one of my favorite directors currently, making a film about Clayface. That would have been so cool. Give me that over Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I'm serious. But yeah, a lot of people forget how smart he is. And he can be really scary because a lot of people forget the dude's a shapeshifter. He can literally make himself and sound like other people around him. You can really do some scary-ass shit with that, like Clayface can also change himself into anything in the room. You could do some cool body horror stuff, like just like it could be like Clayface like melting. It's like you could do some straight up body horror shit with that, or like have him like engulf someone into him. There is some really cool things you could do with the character. You could make him like this horror element where Batman's like, I don't know where he is. I don't know where he went. I don't know where he's gone. Like, that could be like a cool aspect of having like Batman like, I don't know like how to fight this. I don't know how to fight this person. Like, it could be that Batman just goes in for punching him and all he does is just get sucked into clay. And that could be like a moment where Bruce is like, holy shit, this isn't what I trained for. I trained for fighting mobsters, druggies, pimps, dudes who are actual people, and I was supposed to be their monster. Now there's an actual monster running around who's smart, and the other thing is, a lot of people forget, Basil's an actor. He can act. He can literally like be in there's comics where he's been in rooms pretending to be somebody else, studying someone else, then killing that person and taking over that visage. So you could do it like Batman and even Gordon can't trust anybody. Like, they can't trust who to talk to because it could be like it could be Clayface in some aspect. It could be Clayface they're really talking to. It could be like a nice breakdown of trust where Batman and Gordon don't even know if they're the same people. It's like, are you Batman or are you Carlo? Or in this case, Hagen. I know I keep saying Basil Carlo, but like, I know I said Matt Hagen, but I'm just using Matt Hagen for the film. I'm just saying like Basil Carlo for an example. But again, like I said, the way they might do this if Clayface is the villain, they'll probably go the route of Clayface it's Carlo's origin, but it's Matt Hagen. Kind of like, again, in the animated series. That's how I kind of see it playing out. Again, I'm really hoping they go with a more monstrous Clayface. I want a more visceral, more aggressive version of him. I would love that kind of Clayface in this film. So you guys tell me in the comments below, do you guys think Clayface could work in The Batman Part 2? Or do you guys think it's not? Do you want it to be Basil Carlo, or do you want it to be like a combination of him and Matt Hagen? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.